Corruption's Embrace is the second mod I'm covering from the Hylian Modding Horror Competition, which is also a shining star, and has some really neat Lovecraftian world building etched and woven through the fabric of Ocarina of Time. It creates psychological horror out of a game that's approaching 30 years old at this point. It almost seems like a coder's challenge to try to take an archaic engine and try to make an original game with dungeons. I believe these need more attention because the fact that these exist is pretty crazy to me. Corruption's Embrace opens immediately to an old woman laying in a bed with her cat. That cat looks sick. It's like a little tiger. She yells out,
"Oh, Link, it's time to wake up. Can you help Grandma out today? Oh, good. I need you to help Grandpa in the garden. Also, run and get me a fish from the river past town. Make sure you remind him that he has my bottle and to give it to you when you're done. Run along now and remember to grab that slingshot from the chest."
Okay, thank you, Grandma. I got a grandma and a grandpa in this mod. I like that my grandma just wants me to take a bottle to get a fish from the river, and not actually wanting me to fish with a fishing pole from the river. Grandma, I'm gonna be there forever trying to use this bottle. I guess we're also Kid Link in this mod. This poor little guy is about to go through it. We grabbed the slingshot from the chest as per Grandma's request, and just to check in with her really quick, I'm curious if she's got more she wants to yap at me about.
"I told you to help your grandfather and bring me a fish. Don't come back until you do."
She definitely gives the crazy cat lady grandma vibes. You know what? I hate Grandma. Fine, I'll go get your stupid fish. I'm sure you're just too lazy to get this stupid fish for your stupid cat, so you send your grandson to take care of all these little things you're too lazy to climb out of bed and go do. Grandpa's cooler anyway. Look at this old man. Grandpa sees us and says,
"About time you woke up, Link. The guys are back again, and they're after our crops. Use my old slingshot and get rid of these pests."
"I got your back, Grandpa." These crops look like weeds, but nonetheless, I'm going to use this slingshot to the best of my ability. I'm the Cerberus to your Hades, the Great Wall of China that's protecting the Chinese Republic against the Imperial Japan. I'm also a kid with a slingshot. We shoot all these guays, and then check in again with Grandpa. Old fart.
"Finally, what took you so long? Here, take this bottle and get that fish your grandma has been nagging me about all morning. And don't you go near the fingers. You hear me?"
Grandpa, I can't wait to get away from you and Grandma. So grouchy, so naggy. At least I got that empty bottle now, and I have an excuse to run off and get up to some tomfoolery. We followed the dirt path up the hill that leads us towards the river that Grandmother was telling us about.
Link, look. The town looks abandoned. Where is everyone?
I'm a kid. How the hell am I supposed to know, Navi? Well, we set out to figure that out for ourselves. We head up to the rightmost door. Approaching the door, you can hear someone clambering around, but no response. Huh. Ominous. Next, over to the inn. Through the doors, we hear,
"The fingers! They've grown voices. Can't you hear them? Of course you can. They speak the truth. Such sultry voices. I can hardly contain myself. I feel, and the neighbors have already sprouted. Please, let me sprout too. Please, please, please."
I have a feeling these doors are the barriers between us and something we don't want to know about. The fingers seem to be something that has its influence on this town, and I'm guessing the previous home was one of said neighbors that have already sprouted. I'm already getting a hard Cthulhu vibe and influence from this mod. I don't know what we're up against. My imagination is running rampant. We run to the opposite side of the town and start listening in on the doors upwards the stairs to get more info. The first one we can hear,
Everything is falling, breaking. I can feel the ground crumbling at my feet.
So these locals seem to be hallucinating? It doesn't seem like anything is really going on, at least on the outside. Next door.
Go away. I can feel you watching me. He who has eyes to see, let him see. But not me, please. It never closes its eyes, not even to blink. And when it stares, it hurts.
This door doesn't like me looking at it. Seriously though, what is this one talking about? Can they sense me watching him through the door, or something else watching them? Maybe we'll learn more through this last door?
Is this real? Are you real? Hello?
It didn't really answer any of our questions. Something called the fingers is causing these people to sprout? Somehow change? Which we have no idea about. Let's just keep moving on and see if I can get Grandma's fish. Moving onwards up the road, we finally come to the river. There's a sad, bald, blind man sitting up against the bridge that runs across the stream. The stream seems to be tainted with blood. Maybe we can ask this man about the water.
Did you come here for fish too? It's no use. They're all dead. The water's turned red and the fish have turned dead. You might as well just head on home.
Well, my friend, I'm not facing Granny empty-handed. Besides, that doesn't explain why the water has turned red. Let me run upstream and see for myself what caused all these fish to die.
Hey kid, come here a sec.
Well, what's up?
Make sure you equip a sword before you head into that cave. There's no telling what you'll find in there.
Maybe this guy has a point. Maybe something other than the slingshot would probably be a good idea just in case I need to deal with something that's the source of this red in the stream. There's a nearby stone tower that we run across the bridge to get to that I haven't checked. Maybe there's a sword in there. It is nearly pitch black in here. I cannot see anything. After fumbling around for a second, we climb up some boxes and leap onto a platform that has a chest sitting in the middle of it. We get a knight's short sword. It has been a long time since a sword was necessary around here, so we're lucky to find one. Stumbling and bumping around in the dark leads me to the exit from the tower. Now we should be able to face whatever is ahead of us. Immediately upon entrance, we are waist deep in blood water. There's a winding bridge to the opposite side of the cave that we run across. This could be an Alice in Wonderland type moment for us. So, we decide to take the plunge. I'm not sure if we should have done that. We run down through a winding hallway into a giant chamber that looks like a giant winding web. Through the first door we see, Navi jumps in to warn me about the upcoming enemy.
Look, Link, that Skolta is different than the ones we've seen before. Don't let the eyeball on its back stare at you for too long.
This Skolta looks insane. When it flips, the eyeball on the back of it does damage to you while it stares at you, so you need to kill it quickly if you don't want it to drain your health. This must be the eyes that the villagers were talking about in some regard. Is the same thing happening to us? The next room is a giant empty chamber with 3 pathways into the abyss. At the end of each pathway rests one of these new Skoltas that we need to navigate to and beat quickly before they drain us of all our health. Upon defeating all of them, spawns a chest into the chamber that contains the boomerang. There's another room in the main chamber of this dungeon that we run into. This has a ton of jelly-like wiggler monsters that we can throw the boomerang at, paralyze, then leap across to get to the other side of this room. Simple enough. The next area has a couple of green bubble enemies floating around that don't seem to take an interest in fighting us. This area seems to be a fragment of the river location, and in the distance is that our house? I'm unsure now if this is in reality or all in our head. I'm not sure what's happening to us, but I used the boomerang and slingshot to get both of these green bubbles, then run to the other side to try to keep progressing. Running to the end of this area brings us down a long tunnel that leads us into a cave, with a locked door and a small chest. Well, that's fairly simple. It must be the key for this door. 1 rupee? I was played! A wall master tries to ambush us, and exterminating him alongside those green bubble skulls, actually gives us the chest with the key back in the area we were just in. In through the door, there is a whack-activated crystal that extends the pillar out into the giant hub room to the second floor. We climb the box to the right of us, over the web wall, and then up the tower. This whole place is so squishy. On the second floor, we enter the room that the bridge from this squish tower leads us to. I don't know what to make of this. There's a giant eye. It just watches. And watches. I navigate through the abyss of this room. The switch on the right extends the light blue pillars that allow us to climb up and progress. Same thing here. Up these steps, then another switch to allow us to keep on climbing. The last one. There's no available switch? So into this room that's on the same level. At least we're able to escape that giant eye's gaze for a second. This puzzle has the door on the other side of this room locked, and to solve it, we need to use all the purple boxes to fill the gaps in the floor in order for one to be able to rest on the indent with the switch. When I try to get the purple box upwards, my game crashes when I try to push this box onto the other one. So I finesse the system, wiggle a little to hop up and be able to push that bad boy next to the box instead of on top of it. Filling all the gaps, I get access to the door up top. I hit the switch it leads to, and now we're back in this thing's intense fixation. Grab this white rupee, jumping across, now at a climbing section that's a little funky. We get these white rupees as well, and the last one extends the final light blue platform that there is to raise. There's a tablet that I make my way over to that says,
He watches over this crystal. If his crystal is disturbed, don't let him see you move.
Oh no. Well, let me mentally prepare myself to smack this crystal. This giant eye starts spinning, which leads to a red light / green light type of situation. Squid Game. If you mess up, the eye starts to freak out and progressively drain your health while you remain in his sight. You need to retreat to a room to escape taking damage, but the way you have to go through this is to move a little bit, wait for his rotation to move over you, then move a little bit again, rinse and repeat. I found an easier way towards the top is to use the lock-on to strafe while I keep an eye on the eye. That's a funny sentence. All the way nearly back, there's a door unlocked we can escape into. Phew, no more eyeball. We continue onwards into an abyss of a room. I hope we're going the right way in here. Something does feel off though. Oh. I guess we're still being watched. Alright, at least I'm not taking more damage. At least yet. The next room is a big red hallway that has some of the floor missing. Watch out for the potholes, watch out for the potholes. We leap across the final one and back into the main area. We hit this crystal to extend the bridge on the pillar to the final level. Okay, so another puzzle. What does this tablet have to say? I took some gold to buy 2 green pastures. Well, if we follow the color code, it would be yellow, gold, to green, green. The green pastures. Looks like I was right. The next tablet gives us another hint to progress. One of the pastures had a flowing river. The river turned red. I was too scared to follow it, so I turned east. So one of these green tiles that is hooked onto a blue tile. Then, maybe the red tile, since the river turns red. East would be right, I'm guessing, because I don't think there's a compass I could use in this mod, or Ocarina of Time in general. The next tablet says, I stumbled across a woman with eyes like sapphire and hair like fire. She led me across 2 fields of wheat. We passed through a rose bush, and it led me back to my pasture. I don't think it's counting both of her eyes, judging by the tiles on this part. So eyes like sapphire and hair like fire would be blue-red. 2 fields of wheat would be 2 yellow tiles, then red as a rose-colored bush, coupled with a pasture as green, brings us to the end of this puzzle. Thank the heavens. The next room, we climb this web wall through the darkness. And then leap across the floating stone in the abyss to a small chest. Small key in a small chest. We run into the darkness and suddenly leap down back to where we were before. But now there's a door with a lock to use with the key we just found. This is our house, and something's happened to Grandma. Grandma, what's wrong? It seems that Grandma has succumbed to the fingers. And we were forced to hack down our own grandmother. Maybe we can leave out the back door and find Grandpa? Hopefully our grandfather is untouched. Back at our cot in the house? Maybe it was all just a dream. I don't really know what is reality and what isn't anymore. The back door is now locked, so we head out the front door to see if we can find any of our family. It seems that there's more than one eye we need to worry about now. And they're all watching. It's let up to interpretation what the fingers are, if there's some Cthulhu-like being we don't get to see, and if really any of this that happened was real or not. Is Link sprouting similarly to how we seen Grandma right now, and he's just hallucinating? Did any of this really happen? I don't know. I think this is the beauty of Lovecraftian horror, and the mod does an amazing job of keeping it ambiguous enough for us to know. That's the end of the hack, Corruption's Embrace. I like horror being incorporated into Zelda like this. It's such a good excuse to revisit Zelda when I'm such a big horror fan. If you want to see more videos like this, please like, comment, or subscribe because I really enjoyed making this. If you want to see the previous video from the horror collection of hacks, click the annotation in the top right. Thank you.